I'm headed into the office, but before I walked out the door, I had some things I wanted to say about this whole Cassie and Diddy situation because I was reading up on it last night and it's crazy. Now, when the Cassie lawsuit first happened, everybody wanted to know what she settled for. She had asked for 30 mil and within 24 hours Diddy came back and, gave her something. We didn't know what it was. Obviously, it wasn't a good look, but we're like, hey, he probably kind of just wants this to go away. Doing that, that's his ex girlfriend. He wants to shut her up. He doesn't want the intimate details about their life going out. We don't know how bad it is. It most definitely did not go away. He's on trial now, and because of Cassie's testimony that she's been doing this week, we finally know that it was 20 mil that he paid her for the rights to her book, and the book was about their relationship. So with the disclosure of the amount, the 20 mil, we also got a disclosure about assaults, freak offs, aliases that they used, way more information than any of us probably wanted to know about their sex life.
I mean, the jury had a whole night to process the disturbing details of these freak-offs that were laid out yesterday through the eyes of Cassie Ventura. The graphic details, the alleged abuse, the drug abuse. Today, they didn't have to use their imagination, though. It got real in that courtroom today when the jurors, not the public, not the press, when the jurors saw still screenshots from these freak-offs. There was something so uncomfortable about the moment. Watching the jurors see something so raw and so personal in a courtroom full of eyes and full of opinions. Cassie was the most emotional we've seen her. At times, even reflecting when she heard the words come out of her mouth, saying things like, I can't believe I dealt with that.
I know over the past couple of years, 2023, 2024, 2025, it's been all fun and games. We've been laughing, saying no Diddy, making jokes about it. But as I've been reading up on the case, it's not actually that funny. It's sad as hell. It's only one perspective at this point, right? We're only getting her perspective. So we're not getting a full 360 view of everything that's going on. But just reading her stuff, I'm like, man, this dude is going to hell or jail for sure. Now, abuse victims, they always say it's hard to leave or it's not as easy as you think. Not only is she in a relationship with this guy and they're supposedly in love, he has the money, the power, leverage to give her anything that she wants. So, of course, she's incentivized to stay. And I'm not saying that to take away from the fact that she's a grown woman, because at the end of the day, everybody has to be accountable for the stuff that they tolerate. But as I was learning about it, it made me think of that Tyler Perry movie where the rich guy had given the girl AIDS. She was cool with everything. She was cool with the women, with the disrespect that the dude was giving her. And then it got to a point where the dude, he had taken it too far, right? But with Diddy, this is not a movie. This is real life. So there's no ex-husband like there was in the movie that's going to jump in and pull her out the house and save her and beat up the old guy. There's none of that. In this Diddy trial, it's blackmail tapes that he's playing on a private plane. They get in an argument. They're out of town. He's playing the blackmail tapes of her having sex with sex workers on the plane. Like, hey, when we get back, if you try to do anything, remember, I got this. It's security escorting her to hotels and back in the house after he's whooping her. It's big sunglasses. She got to wear sunglasses when she's going to movie premieres and stuff. This is not a movie like the Tyler Perry thing where it's just a happy ending. It's some real Stockholm syndrome. Like, he whoops on her and then they just go back, the next day, the next week, like nothing happened. Because he has the power to beat on her physically, mentally, and emotionally. He's just having his way with her. And then he turns around and makes up for it with fancy dinners, with money, with access, right? We talked about the movie premieres. And even though you can't make up for it, you can't like truly make up for it, because them scars are going to be there forever. As I was reading and as I was learning about the rest of her testimony, there was a point where she talked about trying to jump in traffic. She said, hey, it's so much stuff that I'm remembering, so much stuff that I'm ashamed of. She tried to jump in traffic. That was 2023. I'm thinking it's probably around the time that she was writing that book. So she's probably reliving all of the trauma. But that stuff is in her head forever. All the stuff that's going on with Diddy, she's going to remember that for the rest of her life, regardless of the outcome of this trial. I wanted to read this excerpt that comes from people.com. It says, during her testimony, Ventura recounted years of alleged control, manipulation, and violence. She described being trapped in a decade-long relationship with Combs, saying he isolated her, watched her, and threatened to release compromising footage if she defied him. But like I said, it's just one side of the story at this point. We got to see how the trial progresses. I think the defense is going to question her today or sometime this week, but it doesn't look good for Diddy. It doesn't look good for Diddy with that testimony that she just gave. And we kind of knew that already. We kind of had an idea of what was going on throughout the years, little rumors and stuff. But hey, like I said, he's going to jail or hell, and it don't look good. Those are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. If you have something to say, let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Until next time, peace.